So I usually write a letter every year at this time to the people of All Souls. And every year I tell stories. This year, I thought I'd tell stories in a different way. It's Sunday afternoon. Everybody is left. And so what you'll see are empty spaces. And what I hope we'll do is share some of the stories that help these spaces come alive every week. Of the many places where people's lives are changed, one of them is right here in this parish hall. And it happened just this last month. We've been teaching this course on spiritual gifts, and there was people gathered together in a circle. And there was a small group around some chairs, and they were talking about the spiritual inventory they had taken. This person had gone through the inventory and had found out that their spiritual gift was the gift of prophecy, and they were kind of sad because they didn't really see that. But one by one, the members around that circle said, "Oh yeah, it's true, and here's how we've seen it. This is how you have enacted it." And here's a person who is devout, who's lived this Christian way for a long time. And in this parish hall, around that circle, they understood their faith in a way that they had never known before. And this is why I give. This is the parable of parables. It's a godly play story about parables, but about more than that. It's about the Christian faith and the Christian story that is passed on generation to generation. And it was told here recently in our pre-K to kindergarten classroom, and one of our kids got it. They entered the parable and understood that these boxes and boxes, these stories that have been passed on from generation to generation, these are the stories that give meaning to our faith. We come to understand God, and this is what happens in godly play. Our kids aren't instilled with faith, they're given language for the faith that is already in them. And when I heard about one of our kids understanding the parables and parables, the boxes and boxes as rainbows refracting into rainbows, I realized this is why I give. So this is the Parish House accompaniment room. A year ago, All Souls heard a call from the community. We were asked to house people as they were emerging from the ICE detention center in Richmond. Imagine being from another country. Perhaps you don't speak the language, but something caused you to flee, often violent. And when you're released from the detention center, you have nothing. You've got no idea what the bus system is like, and somebody comes to pick you up, and for a couple days or a couple weeks, you are given a place to sleep, food is brought to you, people are with you. One person who had been in detention, they just sat outside on the patio outside of our parish house looking at the blue sky because it had been months since they had seen it. This kind of compassion, this kind of willingness to be with another person, this is why I give. Our primary way of coming to know God is in this space right now. It's through our worship. And so it's how our week begins, it's also how our week ends. It's where we bring all of ourselves. For me, one of those moments happened on Pentecost. We'd invited the Allen Temple Men's Choir to join our Hearts on Fire Gospel Choir. And the music they made, the way they came together was just incredible. And then it came time for Thanksgivings. It started actually with a member of the men's choir from Allen Temple sharing his birthday, and it just kept going. People were sharing from birthdays and anniversaries and these places where God had come really close in their lives. I guess though, for me, the place when it just crystallized came right here. A woman from Mongolia who was our guest in the parish house. She was fleeing violence, and when she left the ICE detention center, she had no place to go. And so she found space here with us. With tears in her eyes, she shared deep and heartfelt gratitude she had to All Souls for providing her a space to sleep, food to eat, and companionship for her journey. I don't think there was a dry eye in the house. And as I saw everybody here on Pentecost, a day when we try to read from the Acts of the Apostles in different languages, or have a dove, or have drops of the Holy Spirit of fire, in a way to reimagine Pentecost, I realized here we were, and the Spirit was right here, and Pentecost was happening right then. That is why I give.
So those are some of the stories that have happened inside on the corner of Cedar and Spruce. That's been one of the frames we've used for decades now because it's where our worship happens.
We are now at a time in the life of All Souls where the corner of Cedar and Oxford is part of what will be happening next. Now we are turning to a new possibility. We will still be opening our doors for worship, study, action, and life and community week after week. But on this corner, the corner of Cedar and Oxford, we believe God is doing something new. The Spirit is ahead of us, and we are trying to find out where the Spirit is leading. The work we have done for the last year and a half has been inspiring. People have been giving themselves with perseverance and diligence and faith and trust. And what is yet to be is so exciting. For what is, what has been, and what will be, this is why I give.
Spin your arms, spin your eyes,